Welcome everybody to another Wuthering Waves video. I have something that I need to get off my chest. I'm on my free-to-play account right now, and I am a whale on my main account. I love Wuthering Waves. I'm playing it since day one, literally day one. I have only talked about good about Kuro games, always praised them. You could consider me a baby Kuro bot. Probably the fifth like the number 5 Kuro bot. You know, if Saint Toto's number 1 and Glaive Keel's number 2, I'm probably somewhere in the 4 and 5s, you know. I mean I've helped people on their accounts. I've done a lot of like behind the scenes helping. I have 3 different Wuthering Waves accounts. I like this game, but there's one thing going on right now that I do not like, and I was actually kind of baited to do, and I didn't realize it till it was too late. Now on my main account I do have Chacona, and I do have Flaudelise and her weapon Defier Storm. But on my free-to-play I got lucky, and I just got Cartatia, like literally just got her, and I have no more like pulls, and I've been single pulling for her weapon because I understand how important ignore defense is, because I have a Zani that also has ignore defense and, you know, has amplification of damage based on if there's spectral frazzle, blah blah blah, just like this one. But I was told from the Wuthering Waves community that you can actually just use Arrow Rover in the
leaving the past behind.
In the I Was Lied To, right, aka the Gusta Welkin set, and it'll be fine, right? Just use the support set, put Cartatia in the Windward Pilgrimage set, and you'll be good. And then I started doing Tower Versity and fighting some other content. I was like, wait a minute, something's wrong here. And I have a pretty good build. Now her HP is a little bit lower, could get a little bit higher, and her forte is right now it's all 8 out, so it's not maxed. But I had other characters like Camellia and other characters like Carlotta still have 6 or 7 or 8 and still perform higher. Now here's my number one problem so far. I was thought just like Spectral Rover could put Arrow Erosion. No, Arrow Rover does not put any Arrow Erosion at all. Instead, she converts, or he converts if you're playing Male Rover, to remove all Spectral Frazzle, Havoc Bane, Fusion Burst, Glacial Shape, and Electro Flare, which are going to be the new dots coming after, from the target, and inflicts 1 stack of Arrow Erosion for each stack removed. I just tried Phoebe with Arrow Rover, and I had 10 stacks of Spectral Frazzle, and it did not put 10 stacks of Arrow Erosion. It only put 3. So that's kind of a lie there. So that's number 1. So 1, that Arrow Rover does not put Arrow Erosion, and 2, it doesn't say, it says for each stack. That's not true. So that's really like needs to be adjusted here in English. And each stack up to a maximum of 3 needs to, and I don't see anywhere where it says maybe Awakening Gale 3. No, I don't think that's just the ability itself. It's called Awakening Gale. Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just a misunderstanding. Anyways, then number 2 is all nearby resonators in a team can increase the maximum stacks of air erosion to the target can receive by 3 upon it. Cool, right? I thought, yes, I'm going to increase those stacks. Air Rover's free. It's going to be amazing. But once again, Arrow Rover cannot put those air erosion stacks, so you can't just go like Shorekeeper, Arrow Rover, Cartatia, or Johnshin, Arrow Rover, Cartatia. You can't, because they're not. No one's putting the air erosion, so you have to like go Cartatia, put the stacks up, go back to Arrow Rover, out back into mommy version of. It's just weird. It's just weird. Also, she doesn't have any like she has a lot of healing stuff, right? Because she's supposed to be a support. Arrow Rover's supposed to be her support. But I feel like if you can't get Chacona, right? If you can't get Chacona, then you need this support to be like a support / sub DPS, or like another DPS. because my Cartatia is just not doing enough. And I tried multiple weapons. I tried Red Spring, I tried Emerald of Genesis, and I don't have her signature yet. Some people were telling me to go with the Guardian Sword, but that's just less than these two. And even with these stats, I'm hitting like it's okay, but it feels like a wet noodle. And this is without food buffs at all. This is no food buffs, right? And with the set, it gives you 100%, because when you look at the set, it says on the right hand side, hitting a target with air erosion increases crit rate and grants additional arrow damage bonus. Now, number 2 was the passive, right? Arrow Rover's since you can't put arrow erosion, stacking up is weird because you have to do like a swap back to Arrow Rover. You have to go to Cartatia, Arrow Rover, back to, Flawless in a sense, right? Because you wouldn't stay on Cartatia since you just maxed this out by 3. So that's number 2 that I have a problem, and that's a big problem actually for free-to-play players. Number 3, I was lied and told that you could use Gust of Welkins and you'll be perfectly fine, because the Gust of Welkins is a support set that can help you support Cartatia while she wears the Windward Pilgrimage. But that's not true, because when you read the Gust of Welkins, it says inflicting arrow erosion on enemies increases arrow damage for all resonators. But how do you place the arrow erosion on Rover? You'd have to swap the other dots. It's not like Arrow Rover can put Spectral Frazzle or Glacial Shave or Fusion Burst or any of the, like, you know what I'm saying? What? So I farmed this set, like everybody said that it would be really good if Arrow Rover, and it's not true, because I'm not using Phoebe and I'm not using Chacona. I just can't. I don't own Chacona on the free to play, and Phoebe's already used with Zani, and I shouldn't have to bring another character. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's weird. Like, what if you don't have Phoebe? You can go Spectra Rover Zani. If you don't have Zani, you can go Spectra Rover Phoebe. But now it's like, I don't have Chacona. I can't even use Arrow Rover with Cartatia. So that's number 3. Is like, bro, I got baited to build out a whole set that doesn't do nothing, literally. And I don't mean this. Of course, we're talking about this as the main weapon and then the effect. Number 4, yeah, there's more, man. I was like, bro, if you have multiple sequences up to 2 and to 6, you no longer need Chacona or Rover. You can literally just have Cartatia 1v everything in the game. She becomes literally a boss, right? You don't need a team. You can literally just start. If I would have known, I probably would have like not gone for any previous characters and just saved. I would have not even built out my Arrow Rover. I probably would have even got a +1 Zani. I would have kept the Zani. My free to play somehow got lucky and I got a +1. And I would have stopped and I would have saved more Astrite so I could try to get more copies of Cartatia. And it's like, dang. Now I'm hoping, right? I'm hoping that when I do get the Defiler's Thorn, that the extra HP scaling and the ignore defense, which I know is going to do a lot of damage because Zani's gauntlets are insane. Zani does retarded damage on my free to play or my main account. It doesn't matter if you have a S0 or S6, because I have an S6 Zani and I have an S1 free to play, and they both do massive amounts of damage, like massive. It's just my main account does like an extra 30-40% more because of course all the extra stuff. But this is man, I tried going to Tower Adversity, and even when I bring Shorekeeper to give the extra damage amplification, the extra crit damage, crit rate, which I don't need, as you can see from the build, and I still can't do nothing. I can't even get the boss to like 10-15%. The boss still has like 30-35%. And here's the last thing I want to say. Number 5, which I didn't know this. When you use Cartatia's Liberation, she will, during when you cast it, will immediately trigger air erosion damage, right? All the air erosion. So what ends up happening is if you have 6 stacks and you go and you activate the ult, the bong, right? And you go and it procs all those erosion stacks, and you get the nuke plus all the other stacks. It goes, you see it. You see like 20,000 each one, and all the stacks are gone. So then I'm like, all right, cool. If my stacks are gone, I guess I have to go back to Kartathea. In my head, I thought I would just swap back, because let's look at Kartathia's actual outro real quick. It's easier to read over here if you go to team. Arrow damage dealt by the active resonator in the team other than Kartathea Flutterlease. Okay, so basically anyone else. I don't have a Chakona or any future characters because we're not there yet, right? We don't have the new Arrow guy coming out in 2.5 or in the future. He might have Arrow erosion. But I only have Kartathea and Rover, Arrow Rover. So like I'm thinking like, all right, cool. I can swap out from her into Arrow Rover, and I'm gonna amplify the next person by 17.5. But it says with negative statuses: Spectral Frazzle, Havoc Bane, Fusion Burst, Glacial Shape, Electro, Erosion. But wait a minute, didn't we just read that her ult removes all of them because she procs them? So if you outro out without going back to Kartathea and stacking them up, that only lasts for 20 seconds. Now I have to spend 5 to 10 seconds going to Kartathea, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, to put those stacks and then outro out to then get that. I thought you could just instantly after the dong, like every other character, you ult, you go into the next character, do the rotation, ult, go into the next character, like out, you know, like you can't. You have to add the stacks up, then outro out, and then you'll get those erosion from the Kartathea. So you have to go Sharkkeeper into Kartathea, into Arrow Rover, back into Kartathea, into Flautalise, back into Kartathea, back into Arrow Rover, back into Kartathea. That's kind of crazy how many times you have to go back to Kartathea. And I think what it should have been, right, was when she ulted. Why does Phoebe, when she ults, she increases the stacks when she uses her liberation? Flautalise, when she ults, right, which is the advanced form of Kartathea, when she ults, it should just, whatever the stack is, reach to the stack. So if you're at 5, stay at 5. You proc 5, but then go back to 5 and then count down to 4. Or proc to 5 and put 1 stack available. So that way when the next character comes on, they can keep increasing that stack. I just think it's crazy that she removes 100% of them. And then you go here. It's like, all right, cool. Rover can't even use the Gust of Welkins because you have to go back to Kartathea, put the Arrow Erosion. Then you can go to Arrow Rover to then use the Gust of Welkin to then increase the maximum stack. I just think it's a lot of extra steps for no reason when Spectral Frazzle doesn't do that. You don't have to, like, and I understand that Arrow Erosion does more damage than Spectral Frazzle, right, in terms of the dot, but like, the less stacking of it is crazy. I can get Frazzle to 15 stacks or plus, but Erosion is like, you're always going to see 3 or 5, 3, 5, or 6. Those are what are the normals. I know you see 6, it counts down 5, 4, 3. And if you have 3, you'll see it 3 until Rover extends, or like, oh man, it's painful. And I just don't like it. I don't like it. I've tried everything. I put in a Moonlit Cloud set instead. I saw a little bit of an increase. I did all the math in my head and like thinking over like what would the best thing to do for free-to-play players.
Understood.
Is I would have to have a Rover
as we head toward our shared future, leaving the past behind.
I would have to have massive damage just like Kartathea. Like probably like 75% crit and like 250.
As we head toward our shared future.
That's the only thing I can think of. And then I'd have to also do what I told you, which is the whole, you know, Kartathea flawless, back to Kartathea, back to Ever Rover, back to Kartathea. Like I'd have to do it like that. Because otherwise it's just, to me, it's just not enough. I think Spectral Frazzle is so much easier. It's kind of brain dead. People say it's hard to play this. It's not. The fact that Phoebe can lock enemies, including bosses, and keeping them still, like a Carlotta, right? It just makes like playing the game so easy. You don't have that with Rover. personally. I mean, you could just dodge everything, which is totally fine. But I don't know, man. I'm kind of let down with this whole. If you don't have Chacona, if you don't have copies of Cartathea, like multiple copies of Cartathea, or if you don't have Chacona, it really does feel a lot less. I thought people said, "Oh, it's fine. You could just use Arrow, it'll be fine." It might be fine for like lots of AoEing multiple enemies for like Weewa and like other areas like overworld and stuff like that, but for like fighting single target bosses and stuff, like it's not that great. I thought it would be a lot better, and I'm pretty upset and kind of feel baited because I would have loved to skip Cartathea and Lupa and just saved for something else, and now I'm kind of like forced to pull this weapon. I'm literally single pulling every single time to hope I get this to save this team because it is my 5th team. And I've been waiting for it for a while. But yeah, that's it for me. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.